Silence is one of the most misunderstood forms of power. Many mistake silence for weakness. They believe that if you do not respond, if you do not defend, if you do not shout louder, then you have lost. But this is only because they measure strength by noise, by reaction, by chaos. True strength does not need to be announced. True power does not need to explain itself. The mountain does not shout to prove its height. The ocean does not argue to prove its depth. It simply is. And in the same way, silence holds more power than any words could ever carry. When someone crosses you, when they betray you, when they test your boundaries, the instinct of the untrained mind is to respond immediately, to strike back, to defend, to prove a point. But this instinct is not strength, it is a chain. It ties you to the same energy that tried to harm you. If someone throws poison and you swallow it, you only suffer with them. Silence, however, is the refusal to swallow that poison. It is the refusal to let another control your inner state. In silence, you remain untouchable. The discipline of silence is not easy. It is not a passive act. It requires more inner strength than raising your voice ever could. To stay silent when you are insulted. To remain still when provoked. To walk away when your ego wants to stay and fight. This is mastery. Because silence is not the absence of words, it is the presence of control. Control over yourself. Control over your emotions. Control over the battlefield of the mind. And when you have that control, no one can take it from you. Consider the one who speaks too much, who reacts to everything, who always feels the need to prove themselves. They exhaust their energy. They scatter their strength. They become predictable, easily manipulated, easily provoked. Now consider the one who remains silent. You do not know what they think. You do not know what they will do. Their power is hidden, preserved, focused. Silence creates mystery. Silence creates distance. Silence forces others to confront themselves because you do not give them the satisfaction of your reaction. Silence is also observation. When you are silent, you listen more, you see more, you understand more. The loud miss the details, but the silent notice everything. And in this noticing, in this deep awareness, you gain the advantage. Your enemy reveals themselves in their noise, their weaknesses, their fears, their lack of discipline. All of it becomes clear if you are silent enough to watch. In silence, you gather knowledge. In silence, you sharpen your perception. In silence, you let the other destroy themselves with their own noise while you remain unshaken. Many fear silence because it confronts them with themselves. In silence, there are no distractions. In silence, your thoughts become louder. Your emotions rise to the surface. Your wounds speak. This is why people run to noise, to distraction, to constant reaction. But the one who can remain silent learns to face themselves. And when you face yourself, nothing external can control you anymore. This is why silence is not emptiness. Silence is fullness. Fullness of awareness, fullness of strength, fullness of presence. When someone crosses you, your silence is not weakness. It is their defeat. They expect your reaction. They feed on your anger. They want your energy. And when you give none, they are left with nothing but their own actions. Silence holds up a mirror. It forces them to face the consequences of what they have done. It leaves them powerless because you did not participate in their game. In this way, silence becomes the strongest form of response because it is not reaction, it is transcendence. Think of the warrior. The warrior does not waste his energy on battles that do not matter. He chooses carefully. He waits patiently. He moves with precision. And often, his silence is his greatest weapon because it unsettles the opponent. They cannot predict him. They cannot provoke him. They cannot control him. The warrior knows that every word, every movement, every action spends energy. And so he chooses silence, not because he is weak, but because he is conserving his strength for what truly matters. Silence also protects your dignity. When you react in anger, when you shout, when you let emotions take over, you lose control. You lower yourself to the same level as the one who wronged you. But when you remain silent, you rise above. You show that your inner world cannot be disturbed by external storms. You show that your peace is not negotiable. This is not arrogance, it is discipline. It is self-respect. It is the refusal to hand your power to another. And understand this, silence does not mean inaction. It does not mean you accept injustice. It does not mean you allow disrespect. It means you respond with clarity, not impulse. It means you choose your battles wisely. It means you wait until the right time, the right place, the right energy to act in a way that serves you, not in a way that serves your enemy. Silence gives you space. Space to think, space to heal, space to decide. And in that space, you regain control of your life. The greatest storms are silent before they break. The most dangerous predators move in silence before they strike. The deepest truths are found not in noise, but in stillness. And so it is with you. Your silence is not the end of your power. It is the preparation of it. The one who crossed you expects noise, but you give them nothing. You become the storm they never see coming. You become the mountain they cannot move. You become the ocean they cannot drain. Silence becomes your shield, your weapon, your strength. Every action has a consequence. Every choice creates a ripple. Every thought, every word, every movement sends energy into the world, and that energy always returns. This is the law of cause and effect. It is not a belief. It is not a philosophy. It is reality. Just as day follows night, just as the seed becomes the tree, so does every action bring forth its result. Nothing escapes this law. Nothing is outside of it. The law of cause and effect is the silent balance of the universe, keeping order where chaos seems to reign. When someone crosses you, when they harm you, when they act with betrayal or deception, you may feel the urge to punish, to take justice into your own hands. But the truth is, the law is already working. Their action is the cause. Their suffering will be the effect. Just as surely as fire burns the hand that touches it, betrayal burns the heart of the one who commits it. There is no escape from the balance of cause and effect. What they plant, they will harvest. And you, too, are bound to this same law. What you plant, you will harvest. This is why discipline matters. This is why awareness matters. Because at every moment, you are planting seeds. With every thought you allow, with every word you speak, with every action you take, you are writing your own future. People believe their destiny is far away in some distant horizon. But destiny is nothing more than the accumulation of causes meeting their effects. The law is already shaping your tomorrow from the choices you make today. When you understand this, revenge loses its meaning. Why would you waste your energy chasing balance when balance is already guaranteed? Why would you lower yourself into anger when the law has already set the outcome? The moment someone wrongs you, the seed of their suffering is planted. The moment you choose to stay calm, to remain disciplined, to rise above, the seed of your growth is planted. Your only task is to keep planting wisely. Their downfall is their own doing. Your rise is your own responsibility. Think of a farmer. The farmer does not scream at the soil. He does not demand a harvest before the season. He does not doubt that the seed will grow. He plants, he waters, he waits, he trusts. Cause and effect is the same. You cannot control when the harvest comes, but you can control what seeds you put into the ground. If you plant anger, do not be surprised when anger returns to you. If you plant patience, discipline, clarity, then those will become your harvest. The one who wrongs you has already planted weeds, and weeds choke themselves with time. Cause and effect is also why silence carries such power, because silence prevents you from planting seeds of destruction. If you answer hatred with hatred, then hatred multiplies. If you answer betrayal with betrayal, then betrayal becomes your cycle. But if you let the law work, if you step back and refuse to contaminate yourself with their energy, then you rise above the cycle. You let them drown in the ocean they created while you continue to sail forward. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Many do not believe in this law because the results are not immediate. They strike and they feel strong in the moment. They betray and they enjoy temporary gain. They hurt and they think they have won. But the law does not forget. The law does not rush. The law works silently, invisibly, unshakably. Just as a shadow follows the body, so does effect follow cause. You cannot run from your shadow, and no one can run from their consequences. Time is only the distance between cause and effect, but the connection is unbreakable. The wise understand this, and so they live with discipline. They do not waste energy on petty battles. They do not chase revenge. They know that the one who harms them has already set their own trap. There is no need to fight what is already defeated. There is no need to chase what is already falling. The law is absolute. The law is final. But the law is not only punishment, it is also possibility. If your present is difficult, it is because of seeds you planted in the past. But you are not bound to repeat it. Every moment gives you the chance to plant new seeds, to choose better thoughts, to take wiser actions, to shift your direction. The law does not bind you to your past. It simply reflects it. The moment you plant differently, the moment you act differently, the future begins to change. This is power. This is freedom. This is the way of responsibility. If you understand the law, then you know that nothing is wasted. Even betrayal, even pain, even loss, all of it becomes a cause that can lead to growth, to wisdom, to strength if you choose it. The law does not punish blindly. It only reflects truth. It only returns what has been given. If you give discipline, discipline returns. If you give focus, focus returns. If you give resilience, resilience returns. And if others give betrayal, then betrayal will return to them. Not because you demand it, not because you enforce it, but because the law itself demands balance. To live by the law of cause and effect is to walk with awareness. To understand that nothing is random. To know that your life is not shaped by luck, but by intention. Every step you take is planting something. Every silence is planting something. Every act of patience, every act of strength, every act of self-mastery is a seed that cannot be destroyed. And just as surely as the seasons turn, just as surely as the sun rises, those seeds will bring their harvest. Those who cross you cannot escape it. Those who betray cannot erase it. Those who harm cannot outrun it. The greatest battles are not fought against enemies outside of you, but against the storms inside of you. Revenge is one of those storms. It burns hot. It feels powerful. It promises satisfaction. But like fire, it consumes everything in its path, including the one who holds it. The pursuit of revenge is like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the more thirst you create, and the further you drift from peace. Self-mastery begins when you see revenge for what it truly is, a chain, not freedom. When someone crosses you, when they betray your trust, when they seek to harm you, the natural response is to strike back. It feels like justice. It feels like balance. It feels like strength. But what is really happening? In that moment, they are controlling you. Their action dictates your reaction. Their betrayal shapes your behavior. You become a mirror of their energy. You may believe you are punishing them, but in truth, you are binding yourself to them. This is not mastery. This is slavery to emotion. Self-mastery means breaking this chain. It means standing so firm in yourself that no external action can dictate your internal state. The one who has mastered himself does not move like a puppet pulled by strings of anger. He moves with clarity. He moves with choice. He moves with discipline. Revenge is easy. Mastery is difficult. But only mastery leads to freedom. Revenge blinds. It narrows your vision until you can only see one path to hurt as you were hurt. But life is not so small. There are countless paths before you, countless ways to grow, to succeed, to rise. Revenge takes all of your focus and points it backwards, toward the one who wronged you. Self-mastery turns your vision forward, toward the life you are creating. The one who is trapped in revenge cannot move forward because all his energy is tied to the past. But the one who has mastered himself turns betrayal into fuel, pain into strength, obstacles into wisdom. It is said that if you chase two rabbits, you catch none. The same is true here. If you chase revenge, you cannot also chase growth. If you chase revenge, you cannot also chase peace. If you chase revenge, you cannot also chase mastery, because your focus is divided. Revenge demands your time, your thoughts, your energy, and what you give energy to grows. The more you dwell on the one who wronged you, the more power they have over you. Self-mastery demands that you withdraw your energy from them and reinvest it into yourself. Look at history. Those who built empires, those who mastered disciplines, those who reached the heights of achievement, they did not waste themselves on petty revenge. They understood that energy is precious. They understood that life is short. They understood that the greatest victory is not in punishing the one who wronged you, but in building yourself so high that no wrong can touch you. To take revenge is to prove that the other still matters. To master yourself is to prove that only you matter. This does not mean you allow injustice. It does not mean you become passive. It does not mean you ignore betrayal. It means you respond, not react. It means you act with purpose, not impulse. It means you take steps that serve your growth, not steps that only satisfy a fleeting emotion. If someone cuts you down, the best answer is not to cut them back, but to rise taller. If someone doubts you, the best answer is not to argue, but to achieve. If someone betrays you, the best answer is not to destroy them, but to live so fully that their betrayal becomes irrelevant. Self-mastery is a path of discipline. Discipline to stay silent when provoked. Discipline to remain calm when attacked. Discipline to keep moving forward when your emotions want to pull you back. Every time you resist the pull of revenge, you sharpen your strength. Every time you choose focus over anger, you become more powerful. Every time you walk away from a battle that does not deserve your energy, you save that energy for the battles that do. This is how warriors are forged, not by reacting to every strike, but by conserving their strength for what truly matters. Revenge feels like control, but it is not control. It is surrender. It is giving your mind, your emotions, your actions to another. Self-mastery feels difficult, but it is true control. It is the realization that no one has the power to move you unless you give it. And when you do not give it, you are untouchable. No betrayal, no insult, no enemy can harm the one who has mastered himself. Because he understands that what matters most is not what happens outside, but what happens inside. The world is full of people who act without mastery. They are quick to anger, quick to strike, quick to seek revenge. Their lives are filled with conflict because they cannot control themselves. But the one who practices mastery walks a different path. He does not waste words on those who insult him. He does not waste action on those who wrong him. He lets the law of cause and effect handle what must be handled. He keeps his energy, his focus, his discipline for the path ahead. Revenge lowers you to the same level as those who harmed you. Mastery lifts you above them. Revenge traps you in the past. Mastery frees you to create the future. Revenge burns hot and dies quickly. Mastery burns steady and lasts forever. The choice is always yours. To chase what feels good in the moment, or to choose what builds strength for a lifetime. To surrender to emotion, or to master it. To waste your energy on those who tried to break you, or to invest your energy into becoming unbreakable. The betrayal is one of the deepest wounds a human being can experience. It is not the strike of an enemy that cuts the deepest, but the strike of someone who once stood close to you. Enemies attack from the outside, but betrayal pierces from within. It carries disappointment, disbelief, and the feeling that trust has been broken in a place where it should have been sacred. Many collapse under betrayal. They lose faith in others. They lose faith in themselves. They allow the pain to become a prison. But the one who understands the path of strength knows that betrayal, as devastating as it feels, is not the end. Betrayal can be transformed. Betrayal can be turned into fuel. Betrayal can be turned into power. The first step is acceptance. Many resist betrayal. They replay it in their minds. They keep asking why. Why did this person do this? Why did they turn against me? Why did I not see it coming? This questioning creates chains. Because betrayal is not undone by questions. It has already happened. To hold on to the questions is to hold on to the wound. But when you accept that betrayal is a reality of life, you stop feeding the pain. You stop fighting against what already is. You free yourself to begin the transformation. Betrayal reveals truth. It unmasks hidden intentions. It shows you who someone really was, not who you imagined them to be. And truth, even when painful, is a gift. Because illusions cannot protect you. Lies cannot protect you. Knowing the truth, even if it hurts, gives you clarity. It removes the shadows. It opens your eyes. When someone betrays you, they reveal themselves completely. They hand you the gift of knowledge, even if they meant it as harm. If you take this knowledge and use it wisely, you gain an advantage. Betrayal also forces growth. When everything goes smoothly, when everyone supports you, when life feels easy, growth is often slow. But betrayal shakes you. It throws you off balance. It tests your spirit. And in that testing, you discover parts of yourself you did not know existed. You discover how resilient you are. You discover how sharp your awareness can become. You discover how much strength lies hidden beneath your pain. Without betrayal, many would remain asleep. With betrayal, many awaken. It is not the betrayal itself that destroys you. It is how you respond to it. If you let it harden your heart, if you let it make you bitter, then you become a prisoner of it. You carry the betrayer with you in your mind, in your thoughts, in your emotions. You continue to suffer long after they are gone. But if you use betrayal as fuel, if you let it sharpen your discipline, if you let it strengthen your focus, then betrayal becomes the very thing that propels you forward. It becomes the force that awakens your power. Imagine a blade. The blade is not made sharp by comfort. It is made sharp by friction, by pressure, by fire. In the same way, betrayal sharpens you. It forces you to question, to strengthen, to refine. It pushes you to become more aware of the people you allow into your life. It pushes you to build your inner fortress so strong that no outside action can shake it. Betrayal, if used correctly, becomes the fire that forges your unbreakable character. Many people collapse under betrayal because they give their power away. They keep thinking about the one who hurt them. They keep replaying the event. They keep carrying bitterness. But this only feeds the betrayer's victory. To reclaim your power, you must shift your energy. Instead of thinking of what they did to you, think of what you will do with it. Instead of asking why they crossed you, ask how you will rise from it. Instead of letting the pain weaken you, let it ignite you. Let the betrayal become the very reason you will not give up, the very reason you will rise higher than before. Betrayal also teaches independence. When support is pulled away, when trust is broken, you are left standing alone. In that loneliness, many feel fear. But loneliness is also the place where self-reliance is built. When no one else stands beside you, you learn to stand on your own. When no one else carries you, you learn the strength of your own legs. When no one else believes in you, you learn the power of believing in yourself. And this independence is unshakable because it is not built on others, it is built on you. The energy of betrayal is strong, it can destroy or it can transform. The choice is always yours. You cannot control what others do, but you can always control what you create from it. Those who betrayed you expected you to collapse. They expected you to drown in the wound they left. But when you rise instead, when you use the pain as fuel, when you become stronger because of what they tried to break, then betrayal turns into your greatest advantage. They handed you a weapon without realizing it. They handed you the fire that you can now use to forge yourself. And remember, betrayal cuts only once if you let it. But if you carry it, if you feed it, if you allow it to control your heart, it cuts you again and again every day. Self-mastery means you refuse to let it cut more than once. You feel it, you acknowledge it, but you do not carry it. You transform it. You turn it into clarity, into strength, into independence, into resilience. You let the betrayal be the teacher that revealed your strength, not the chain that held you down. Those who betrayed you have already written their own fate by their actions. Their betrayal is their seed, and it will return to them. Your task is not to sink to their level, not to chase them, not to punish them. Your task is to rise, to take the pain, to turn it into power, to use it to become untouchable. Because the one who can turn betrayal into strength becomes unstoppable. And once you learn how to transform wounds into wisdom, no one can ever truly break you again. There is a common belief that walking away is weakness, that the one who turns his back is the one who lost. That victory belongs only to the one who stays, who fights, who argues until the last word is spoken and the last blow is struck. But this belief is born from pride, from ego, from the need to prove something to others. True strength does not need to prove. True victory does not need recognition. Walking away is not weakness. Walking away is mastery. Walking away is victory. When you walk away, you are not running. You are not surrendering. You are choosing. You are deciding that your energy, your time, your peace are more valuable than the battle in front of you. You are declaring that not every fight is worth fighting. Not every insult is worth answering. Not every challenge is worth accepting. The one who fights everything becomes exhausted. The one who walks away chooses where his energy will go, and that choice makes him powerful. Ego demands to win in the eyes of others. Ego cannot stand to leave without the last word. Ego cannot bear to step back. But mastery is not ruled by ego. Mastery is ruled by clarity. When you walk away, you are saying, my dignity is not up for debate, my worth is not up for argument, my energy is not up for waste. The battlefield where ego wants to pull you in is already beneath you. The real victory is not to destroy the opponent in front of you, but to refuse to be pulled into battles that do not serve your growth. The act of walking away unsettles people. Those who try to provoke you expect noise. They expect anger. They expect reaction. When you walk away, you give them none. You leave them with the weight of their own actions. You leave them fighting shadows while you conserve your strength for higher battles. In this way, walking away is not avoidance. It is strategy. It is the same wisdom that tells the warrior to save his arrows for the real war, not waste them on every passing bird. Walking away is also protection. When you argue with someone who is blinded by anger, your words are wasted. When you fight someone who has already chosen deception, your honor cannot reach them. When you stay in places that drain your spirit, Your light dims with each moment. To walk away is to protect your mind, your peace, your spirit. To walk away is to remove yourself from poison before it seeps deeper. To walk away is to choose life instead of being consumed by someone else's destruction. It is easy to stay and fight. It is easy to argue. It is easy to let pride control you. But it takes discipline to walk away. It takes strength to remain silent. It takes wisdom to know when a battle is not worthy of you. Discipline is not shown in the strike of a fist or the sharpness of a tongue. Discipline is shown in the restraint to not be moved by every provocation. Walking away requires more power than staying, because it means you have mastered yourself instead of being mastered by your emotions. Consider the river. The river does not fight every rock in its path. It does not waste itself trying to shatter every obstacle. It simply flows around them, smooth, steady, unshaken. And yet, in time, the river shapes valleys, carves mountains, transforms the land. Its power is not in confrontation, but in movement. Walking away is like the river. You are not stopping. You are not defeated. You are continuing, and in continuing, you reshape the entire landscape of your life. There is also a hidden strength in withdrawal. When you remove yourself, you remove your energy, you take away your presence. You deny others the reaction they wanted. Many who provoke you only seek your attention, your response, your energy. When you give them nothing, they are left empty. You win not by striking them down, but by refusing to give them what they wanted most, your power. Walking away takes everything from them and gives everything back to you. Some will say that walking away means you were afraid, but fear is staying in what destroys you. Fear is continuing to fight when you know the battle leads nowhere. Fear is being unable to let go. Walking away is the opposite of fear. It is courage. It is the courage to value yourself above approval. It is the courage to put peace above pride. It is the courage to walk into the unknown instead of clinging to the familiar poison. Fear holds on. Strength lets go. Walking away is also alignment. It is saying, this does not fit with who I am anymore. This energy, this conflict, this environment does not match the path I walk. You are not abandoning. You are evolving. You are not running from something. You are moving towards something greater. When you walk away, you create space. Space for new people, new opportunities, new growth. As long as you stay tied to what drains you, there is no room for what can raise you. But the moment you release, the moment you walk away, space is created, and into that space something better can enter. The most dangerous warrior is not the one who fights every battle, but the one who chooses his battles. The most powerful leader is not the one who argues with every voice, but the one who speaks only when necessary. The most disciplined soul is not the one who reacts to every insult, but the one who remains unmoved and walks away. In walking away, you prove that your peace is worth more than their chaos, that your silence is worth more than their noise, that your path forward is worth more than the trap they tried to set behind you. To become untouchable is not to build walls of stone around yourself, nor to walk through life without pain. It is not to avoid betrayal, loss, or disappointment, for these are unavoidable parts of existence. Becoming untouchable is not about removing all storms from your path, but about becoming the kind of person who remains unmoved even in the middle of the storm. Untouchable does not mean you do not feel. It means you do not break. Untouchable does not mean you never face opposition. It means opposition cannot control you. Untouchable is the state where your peace, your focus, your power cannot be taken away, no matter what others attempt to do. Most people live in a fragile state. Their happiness depends on others. Their peace depends on circumstances. Their strength depends on recognition. When someone praises them, they rise. When someone criticizes them, they fall. When life gives them comfort, they smile. When life gives them struggle, they collapse. This is not strength, this is dependency. To be untouchable, you must cut the strings that attach your emotions to the actions of others. You must stop handing out control of your inner world to external forces. The one who is untouchable is not cold or numb. He feels, but he chooses his response. He hurts, but he does not surrender to the hurt. He sees betrayal, but he does not let betrayal define him. He experiences loss, but he does not become lost. His emotions rise and fall like waves, but his spirit remains steady like the ocean beneath them. The untouchable one is not unshaken because nothing happens to him. He is unshaken because he has learned how to remain rooted in himself regardless of what happens. Becoming untouchable begins with self-mastery. If anger controls you, you are touchable. If fear controls you, you are touchable. If pride controls you, you are touchable. Anyone can provoke you if you have not mastered yourself. Anyone can pull your strings if you have left them exposed. To be untouchable is to remove the strings entirely. No insult can make you react. No fear can make you retreat. No temptation can make you stray from your path. You become sovereign over yourself, and in that sovereignty, no one can rule you. Discipline is the foundation of this. The discipline to remain silent when you want to shout. The discipline to stay calm when you want to strike. The discipline to keep moving forward when the world tries to hold you back. Discipline builds a fortress around your spirit. Not a fortress that keeps life out, but a fortress that keeps you steady within it. Discipline means you no longer live as a slave to emotion, but as a master of choice. Every time you resist the urge to be pulled into pettiness, you strengthen the walls of this fortress. Awareness is another key. Many are touchable because they are blind to themselves. They do not see how easily they are provoked, how quickly they react, how often they hand away their peace. But the one who is aware notices. He notices his triggers, his weaknesses, his impulses. He studies them, not with judgment, but with clarity. And in this clarity, he begins to control them. Awareness gives him the power to choose differently. It turns weakness into strength, reaction into response, blindness into vision. Awareness makes him less predictable, less vulnerable, less controlled. Untouchable does not mean you isolate yourself. It does not mean you withdraw from people or life. It means you engage fully, but without chains. You love deeply, but you do not collapse if love is betrayed. You trust wisely, but you do not crumble if trust is broken. You give your best, but you do not fall apart if it is unappreciated. You live with open hands, knowing that nothing outside of you defines your worth. This openness makes you strong because you no longer fear loss. What can be taken from you if your strength comes from within? Becoming untouchable also requires that you choose your energy carefully. You cannot remain unshaken if you constantly surround yourself with chaos. You cannot remain disciplined if you constantly engage with noise. Untouchable is built by aligning yourself with clarity, with silence, with focus, by removing distractions that weaken you, by refusing relationships that drain you, by stepping away from environments that poison you. You conserve your strength. Each time you choose alignment over chaos, you add another layer to your untouchable spirit. There is a power in being untouchable that others can sense. They will try to provoke you, and when you do not move, they feel their own weakness. They will try to manipulate you, and when you do not bend, they feel their own failure. They will try to betray you, and when you rise higher instead of falling lower, they realize their attempt only strengthened you. Untouchable is not loud. Untouchable does not need to announce itself. It is a quiet presence, a calm aura, a strength that others cannot penetrate. To be untouchable is to live free. Free from the chains of revenge, free from the weight of betrayal, free from the illusions of ego, free from the need for constant validation, free from the fear of judgment, free from the control of outside forces. Untouchable does not mean invincible, but it means unbroken. It means no matter how many storms strike you, you remain standing. No matter how many betrayals come, you keep moving. No matter how much noise surrounds you, you remain still within. Untouchable is not a shield against life. It is the state of becoming greater than anything life throws at you